My brother and sister, every morning after Fajr, Allah opens the doors of blessings for His servants. Yet most of us close our eyes and go back to sleep, missing a golden opportunity written in our destiny. Do you know what the Prophet prayed for in the early hours of the day? Do you know why the companions would never waste this time? Today, we will uncover the hidden secret of sleeping after Fajr, whether it brings success or loss. Stay with us, because what you'll discover might change the way you start every single morning of your life. In Islam, the early morning hours hold a special significance. These are moments when the world is calm, distractions are fewer, and the believer's heart can connect more deeply with Allah. The Prophet Muhammad made a powerful dua that shows us the importance of this blessed time. He said, Allah bless my nation in their early mornings. Termidif. This simple yet profound prayer is the foundation of why Muslims are encouraged to value the hours after Fajr rather than sleeping them away. When the Prophet asked Allah for barakahs, blessings in the mornings, it was not limited to just spiritual benefits. Barakah is a comprehensive concept. It means increase, goodness, productivity, peace, term benefit. This means that whatever a believer does after Fajr, whether it is worship, work, study, or even preparing for their day, will carry divine blessings. The same effort done later in the day does not have the same value as what is done in these early hours. The companions of the Prophet, I understood this wisdom well. Many of them would begin their work immediately after Fajr prayer. Traders would set out for business. Students would review Quran and knowledge, and families would start their daily tasks. They noticed that their work became easier and more fruitful when they utilized this blessed time. It was as though Allah placed unseen help and efficiency in their efforts. Science today also supports this practice. Studies show that people are most focused and mentally sharp in the early morning. The brain functions better, memory is stronger, and energy levels are higher. When combined with the Prophet's dua, this creates a powerful formula for both worldly success and spiritual growth. Sleeping through these hours, on the other hand, is like throwing away a treasure chest of opportunities. The Prophet also demonstrated this dua in his lifestyle. He would stay awake after Fajr, remembering Allah, teaching, or attending to the needs of the community. It is reported that he would not begin his day late. Instead, he used the mornings productively. His companions followed this sunnah, and through it, they achieved both spiritual strength and worldly prosperity. For us today, implementing this can be simple but life-changing. Instead of going back to sleep after Fajr, one can spend 20-30 minutes in Dhikr's remembrance of Allah, recite Quran, or make dua. For those who need to work or study, this is the best time to focus, because the Prophet's dua ensures barakah in their efforts. Even tasks like planning the day, exercising, or preparing for family responsibilities can fall under this blessing. The reality is, we all seek barakah, whether in time, health, wealth, or knowledge, yet often we complain that time slips away, money doesn't last, or energy feels drained. One solution is to align our routine with the Prophet's dua. If we begin our mornings after Fajr with purpose, Allah places blessings in everything we do. So the next time you are tempted to sleep after Fajr, remember the Prophet specifically prayed for blessings in these hours. By staying awake, you are stepping into a time filled with dua, light, and opportunities that can shape both your dunya, worldly life, and your akhirah, eternal life. The time after Fajr prayer carries a unique type of blessing that many people overlook. While most of the world chooses to go back to sleep, Islam teaches us that these hours are filled with hidden wisdom, both spiritually and practically. The Prophet and his companions valued this time so much that they used it to build their faith, strengthen their communities, and even improve their livelihoods. When a believer understands the secret treasures of the post-Fajr hours, they will hesitate to waste them. A time of spiritual light, the hours after Fajr are still filled with the tranquility of the night. The world is quiet, distractions are minimal, and the heart is more receptive to worship. Reciting Quran at this time carries a special weight because Allah mentions in the Quran. Indeed, the recitation of the Quran at dawn is ever witnessed. So 1778, scholars explain that this means angels bear witness to the Quran recited during Fajr and the time around it. Engaging in Dhikr, dua, or Quran reading after Fajr fills the heart with light that carries into the rest of the day. Mental and physical productivity, modern science now confirms what Islam has taught for centuries. The early morning is the sharpest and most productive time of the day. After a good night's rest, the brain is fresh, memory retention is stronger, and creativity is at its peak. For students, studying after Fajr can help them grasp knowledge more easily. For workers, this time is ideal for planning, strategizing, and tackling important tasks. The hidden wisdom is that Allah designed the human body to function best in the early hours, aligning perfectly with the Prophet's way do for morning barakah. A gateway to rizq, sustenance. The Prophet prayed for blessings in the early hours of his ummah, and many companions acted on this by starting their trade, farming, or work after Fajr. They would say that their businesses prospered and their sustenance increased because they utilized this blessed time. When we dedicate our mornings to productivity, whether in work, learning, or seeking halal livelihood, we are opening doors to barakah in our rizq. The hidden wisdom is that success is not only in working harder, but in working at the times Allah has blessed. Training for discipline and consistency. One of the biggest challenges of modern life is lack of discipline. We sleep late, wake up late, and rush through our days. The habit of staying awake after Fajr teaches consistency, time management, and discipline. It trains the soul to fight laziness and the nafs, ego that always seeks comfort. Starting the day early allows a person to accomplish more before others have even begun their routine, leading to a sense of achievement and inner satisfaction. Balance between worship and worldly life. The post-Fajr hours beautifully combine spiritual and worldly benefits. A believer can pray, recite Quran, and engage in Dhikr while also preparing for their daily responsibilities. This balance ensures that faith and productivity go hand in hand. Islam does not ask us to abandon worldly efforts, but rather to align them with divine wisdom for greater success. In short, the hidden wisdom of post-Fajr hours is that they are a divine gift, a time when hearts are soft, minds are sharp, and blessings are abundant. Those who seize these hours experience a unique peace and productivity that sets the tone for the entire day. Choosing sleep over this time may feel comfortable in the moment, but it is a loss of an opportunity that cannot be regained. The wise believer understands that the true secret of success lies in valuing what Allah has already blessed. In Islam, rizq, sustenance, is a gift from Allah 7, but it is also closely tied to human effort and action. Many people misunderstand rizq as something that will simply arrive without striving, but the Quran and Sunnah repeatedly teach us that barakah, blessing in sustenance, is granted when we combine trust in Allah with active effort. The time after Fajr prayer is one of the most powerful periods to seek rizq, as it has been blessed by the Prophet's do. When a believer wakes up early and engages in productive work, they align their lives with divine wisdom, making their rizq more fruitful. The prophetic do for morning Barakah. The Prophet said, "O Allah, bless my nation in their early mornings." Tirmidhi, this supplication means that the hours after Fajr carry a special blessing for earning livelihood, studying, or any productive pursuit. The companions understood this deeply, which is why they would begin their work or trade immediately after Fajr. Farmers would go to their fields, traders would open their shops, and students of knowledge would start revising. They experienced firsthand that effort made in the early hours brings greater returns compared to working later in the day. Rizq requires action, not laziness. Islam encourages believers to work hard while relying on Allah for the outcome. The Quran says, "And when the prayer has been concluded, disperse within the land and seek from the bounty of Allah." 62 Sikata. This shows that after fulfilling spiritual duties, Muslims are instructed to seek sustenance actively. Rizq does not come to those who sleep excessively or delay effort. By staying awake after Fajr, a person demonstrates discipline and seriousness in seeking Allah's bounty, rather than falling into laziness that blocks opportunities. The connection between rizq and discipline. Effort without discipline often leads to wasted potential. The habit of waking early and striving consistently teaches a believer that rizq comes not just from working hard, but from working smart at the right time. For example, an entrepreneur who starts their day early can plan better, make clearer decisions, and reach clients before others. A student who studies after Fajr absorbs knowledge more effectively. The discipline of effort combined with the blessings of early hours turns ordinary work into extraordinary outcomes. Rizq is more than money. Well, rizq includes wealth. It is not limited to it. Rizq is also health, knowledge, peace of mind, good character, righteous children, and time well spent. A believer who uses the early morning hours for Quran, Dhikr, or even exercise is increasing in non-material rizq as well. The Prophet taught that barakah lies not only in how much we earn, but in how beneficial, peaceful, and fulfilling that sustenance is. A person may have little but feel rich because their rizq is filled with blessing. Trust in Allah while striving. A balance is required. We must not think rizq is purely a result of our hard work, nor should we believe it will come without effort. True tawakkul, trust in Allah, means tying the camel and then leaving the outcome to Allah. The effort of waking early, working sincerely, avoiding haram means of income opens the doors of halal rizq. Then whatever Allah decrees, the believer accepts with contentment, knowing they have done their part. In conclusion, rizq and effort go hand in hand. The wisdom of staying awake after Fajr lies in recognizing that Allah has placed blessings in the early hours and commanded us to strive. Rizq is not about chasing money endlessly, but about seeking Allah's bounty in a balanced, disciplined way. When effort is made with sincerity and trust in Allah, Even small earnings are filled with barakah, bringing peace and prosperity far beyond material wealth. Islam is a religion of balance, moderation, and wisdom. Allah San has not placed hardship upon us in practicing our faith, but rather given us a way of life that suits our spiritual and physical needs. When it comes to the matter of sleeping after Fajr, the Sunnah offers guidance that is neither too rigid nor too lenient. Some people misunderstand this issue and become extreme, either thinking that it is haram to sleep after Fajr under all circumstances, or on the other hand, neglecting the blessed hours completely by rushing back to bed. The truth, as always in Islam, lies in the middle, a balanced Sunnah approach. Recognizing the Barakah of early hours, the Prophet made dua, Allah bless my nation in their early mornings. This means that the early hours carry a unique blessing that should not be wasted. The companions would take advantage of this by beginning their work, study or trade soon after Fajr. This does not mean sleep is forbidden after Fajr, but rather that the one who stays awake gains greater opportunities for barakah in both spiritual and worldly matters. The Sunnah encourages us to make the most of this time, sets the tone for the rest of the day. When sleep becomes necessary at the same time, Islam recognizes human needs. If a person has been awake at night for worship, work or other necessary tasks, and they genuinely require rest after Fajr, then there is no sin in sleeping. The body has a right upon us, and balance requires caring for our health. For example, a student who stayed awake revising until late night, or a worker who spent hours in night shifts may need sleep after Fajr to function properly. Denying rest in such cases could lead to harm, which Islam never encourages. Avoiding excessive sleep, the real issue is not occasional rest, but falling into the habit of excessive morning sleep. Oversleeping after Fajr leads to laziness, wasted time, the loss of morning blessings. Islam teaches moderation, sleeping enough to refresh the body, but not so much that it prevents productivity. The Sunnah of the Prophet shows that he would often stay awake after Fajr, engaging in Dhikr, teaching his companions or preparing for the day. By following this model, a believer can strike a balance between rest and productivity. Combining worship and work, a balanced approach, also means mixing spiritual devotion with worldly effort. One can spend some time after Fajr in Quran recitation or dhikr and then dedicate time to studies, work or family responsibilities. This way both spiritual and material needs are met. For those who require rest, they can at least dedicate a portion of time to remembrance of Allah before sleeping, ensuring they do not completely miss out on the blessings of the morning. The principle of moderation, the Kurd describes the Ummah as a middle nation, 2D 123, which means avoiding extremes. The balanced Sunnah approach to sleeping after Fajr is not to forbid what Allah has permitted, nor to neglect what the Prophet emphasized. It is about understanding context, personal needs, and the higher goal of living a productive and spiritually rich life. In conclusion, the Sunnah encourages us to value the post-Fajr hours, but does not burden us with unrealistic expectations. Those who can should remain awake, benefiting from barakah and productivity. Those who need rest may sleep, provided it does not become a habit that robs them of blessings. This balanced Sunnah approach ensures that both the body and the soul are nourished, keeping a Muslim strong in faith and effective in life.